All right, good afternoon, everybody. Can the people in the back hear me all right? All right, thumbs up. Appreciate it. Well, I want to welcome everybody that's here today, those of you who are being promoted, as well as the crews who you're working with today. And I want to welcome everyone who's watching us virtually, whether it's at home or work or on your personal device. Promotion Day is a great day in the fire department, so I'm glad that you can be with us today because it's really important. On behalf of the City of Des Moines Mayor, Frank County, and the members of the City Council, as well as City Manager Scott Sanders, I want to say congratulations to each of you being promoted. They recognize this is a pretty important milestone in your careers, and it's a big day for the fire department. We are better for your efforts, and so I join with them in telling you congratulations. I also want to say thank you to the Des Moines Civil Service Commission. They have a lot of ownership in what we do, and we work with them on a regular basis. And in particular, Chairperson Linda Carter-Lewis and Commissioner Mary E. Campos, who, if not for a global pandemic, would be here today. But they really like to be here. They like to see all of the people that they recognize early in their careers really become successful. And they celebrate that, and they're unable to be here today, but they're certainly here with us in spirit. This is a little bit of an opportunity to kind of lean in and not rely on the things we can't do this year, but the opportunities that it presents to us. And having a virtual audience, perhaps with people that aren't as familiar with our work, I can tell you a little bit about what we do. And for all of the things that we do, we have people who fulfill a rank assigned to them that they earned. And every rank has a job specification, and the job specification says what are the pieces of the work that we do, what it is what's the do in what we do. And that's not enough for us to achieve our mission, to just have a list of things that we're going to get done and check off those boxes. So we evaluate the work that we do, and we have an evaluation process for all the different ranks that reflect all those job specifications. But it really comes down to the attribute evaluation. What do you bring to the table? What is the special sauce that you add to this recipe that makes it taste so good? And with our attribute evaluation, I want to take an opportunity today to recognize some of the things about each of you individually and tell you thanks. Because whether you think people are watching or not, people are always watching. Every day is an interview, and each of you is outstanding. And you can go across the fire department and see great examples of people fulfilling those attribute qualities. And each of you, I think, does it in kind of a special way, and I want to point out a couple of those. One of those attributes is accountability. And when I think of Engineer Dan Gilliott, and I think about accountability, I think about the path a person goes on from being a quality person who becomes a really skilled provider, who becomes a leader, and through processes like this, raises the bar to take on greater responsibilities, to kind of really catch their stride. And I think, Dan, I think you really fulfill that attribute, and thank you for that. That's a big deal to me. One of our attributes is technical knowledge and technical skill. And when I think of Engineer Dustin Stevens, I think of that toolbox, because everything that we do is we show up on a scene and we have to solve a problem. So we have a lot of tools at our disposal, and engineers and people like Dustin have to know what the capabilities and the limitations of those tools are to really solve the problem. And anybody who's ever ridden with Dustin knows he's not going to talk your ear off, but he will get to the solution pretty quickly on a fairly concise size up. And sometimes it's about what you shouldn't do. And if you go way back in the time machine, Dustin and I may have gone to a house that was having trouble maybe with a furnace, but the noise was coming from the basement, the crawl space below the house. And we go to the crawl space, we look in, and we see the biggest beehive that I've ever seen in my entire life. And I look over at Dustin, and he's just looking at the thing. I said, "What do you think?" He goes, "I got this." He goes, "Good, what are we going to do?" And he goes, "We're going to get the heck out of here." But Dustin, you bring a lot of old school skill to that toolbox. And I think that's what makes you successful, and what's going to make you successful in the future here. Human relations is another attribute that that we care a lot about. And it's about how we recognize and address and make ourselves available to the people that we work with. And Jay Roten's a great example of that. From his past experiences, his personal experiences, and his professional experiences, taking mentoring as a serious obligation as a professional in the fire service is a big deal. So thank you for that. I really I think that's what makes us kind of special. One of our other attributes is impact. And impact has to do with having a positive outlook inside the organization, outside the organization, and how we put ourselves out there. And I think of Hayley Van Velzen when I think of impact. She can be pretty tough, she can be pretty intense, but it is packaged in about the greatest level of positivity that you could ever hope for. And that's a big deal. If you can work with Hayley for an entire shift and not say that you didn't have a good day, you need to come talk to me, because you need to grasp onto that and let that positivity make your next shift even better. So thank you, Hayley. The last attribute that I'm going to talk about today is initiative. And I do think of Captain Devin Sadler when I think about initiative. And it's not just about getting the things done that aren't done. It's about seeing what comes next. It's about finding that next opportunity. What is the next thing that we can improve upon? And about the time that I see Devin every day is around lunchtime, and I got to be ready because he's going to say, "What are we working on today, Chief?" And I know that he's been working his can off all day. And if I don't have a list of things to tell him, I might not feel so good about myself because I know that he's getting it done day in and day out. So, Devin, thank you for that. I appreciate it. So those are some of the things that we don't always talk about, but we're aware of, but they're really important. So I want to take the opportunity today to point out some of those things and share with not just the people getting promoted, but perhaps with a family member at home, some of the things that we recognize, because they're a big deal. And the other big deal is the fact that you've all waited through all of my talking so that you can get promoted. So let's not waste any more time. I'm going to, for those who are viewing from another location, what we're going to do is I will administer the oath to all the candidates at the same time, and then they'll take their seats, and then we have a certificate of promotion, and one at a time I will call the people up, and they'll come up and they'll sign their certificate, and then I will sign their certificate, and we'll take a photo of that, and then I'll have some comments afterwards. But so for everyone who's being promoted, please stand. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Iowa, that I will observe and obey the rules and policies adopted by the City of Des Moines and the Des Moines Fire Department, and the orders of officers appointed over me. I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of my appointed rank for the Des Moines Fire Department as now or hereafter required by law. Please lower your hands and take your seats. Our first promotion will be Fire Medic Hayley Van Velzen. Fire Engineer Jay Roten. Fire Engineer Dan Gilliott. Fire Engineer Dustin Stevens. Fire Captain Devin Sadler. I was recently in a conversation about public safety, kind of in general, police and fire departments, and specifically about the Des Moines Fire Department and the Des Moines Police Department. And I made some comments about it. I love to go to work. I just feel lucky to be able to go to work. And a question came back to me about what is it that you love about Des Moines police officers and firefighters? And my response it wasn't made up. It's something I think about on a regular basis. It's not because all of you are heroes or because all of you keep me safe and keep my family safe. All of you are, and all of you do. But I think what makes this department special and makes all these people special is they're ordinary people who do extraordinary things on a regular basis. And they do it leaning on each other and through each other and as teams as well as individually. But that's what really makes us go. All of you being promoted today, this is a great point in your career for yourselves, but also for us. You're stepping up and you're gonna take it to that next level. And I know that every one of you is going to help the person that's coming behind you to get to that level. And that's how we keep this thing going. So kind of one more time today, I want to say thank you and congratulations to you. Let's give all of them a big round of applause. This concludes our ceremony today. Congratulations. Have a good rest of the shift for those of you who are on duty. And I'll greet you afterwards. Thank you.